Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
To every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It's never enough.
I cannot believe you, Ellen.
Are you saying that Advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
To every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It's never enough.
Okay, so we're gonna give this a good go, see if this works.
Are you saying that Advance
so-
have cured death?
Took apart the laptop last night. Or, yeah, took it apart last night.
Still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
And,
Oh, Megan.
so, it was
We're only
fairly
getting
dusty.
started.
I do know the hard drive's going out. It is
Good evening,
a
I'm Megan Wolf.
cheap
And I'm
1
Jeremy Jones.
terabyte hard
Our main
drive they
headlines
put in there.
Daddy, it's starting!
So that's next on my list of
Every
upgrades.
single one of you's a bit Jesus.
After the shit show of Thursday,
What a wild ride this has been.
our local computer store
Well, that's
sent out their advertisement email for Black Friday,
Advance
and
is
in
lying
there
to
they
you.
have AMD Ryzen 7 bundle
Friends and neighbours,
up for grabs.
and have confidence
So,
that the team will
After
keep you
some financial manipulation, I ordered it.
Now you start to see,
Should be
yes?
here
The
within,
people never happy.
well, they said
Never
1 to 3
enough.
business days, so it was already shipped. It was shipped out yesterday.
Cannot believe you, Ellen.
So I'm hoping here tomorrow, if not Tuesday.
Are you saying that Advance have
Um,
cured death?
And upgrade the tower, do something a whole lot better.
We're still vassal
Downside
slaves, we're just in
is
prettier
we
cages.
will be moving everything back to the way it was. So me on the recliner, things like that.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
But
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
overall, I should be able to play better. So I haven't shelved Tomb Raider yet for Thursdays.
Jesus.
We'll give on Thursday. We'll try out the new system, see how well that handles.
Well, that's a very blunt
But
question.
Advance
yeah,
is lying to
and as you can hear in the background, the game we have for tonight,
Friends and neighbours,
loading and
and
rating.
have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
Get to it.
But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It's never enough.
Fine.
Cannot believe you, Ellen.
Are you saying that Advance cured death?
Jog off!
We're still
is
vassals,
the-
slaves. We're just in pretty.
Oh, Megan.
Game
We're
capture
only
not
getting started.
finding it.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
Oh, there we go.
Every
Weird.
single one of
For some
you
reason, they're still set to Uru back on Wednesday. No idea why.
Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is
There we go.
lying to you.
Hit.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes, the people never happy. It's never enough.
I cannot believe you, Ellen.
Are you saying that Advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassals, slaves. We're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
Really? Controller?
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
That's right. Yeah.
every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
Start to see, yes, the people never happy. It's never enough.
Why is the game not even using the mouse?
Cannot believe you, Ellen.
Keyboard works fine.
Are you saying that Advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassals, slaves. We're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
Yeah, this is weird considering that
What a
controller
wild
worked
ride
before.
this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes, the people never happy. It's never enough.
Cannot believe you, Ellen.
Are you saying that Advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassals, slaves. We're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start
Controller.
to see, yes,
See what gets
the people
recognized as.
never happy. It's never enough.
Cannot believe
Game
you,
recognized.
Ellen.
No.
advance have cured death.
Jog off!
We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. A very blunt question.
Advance is line 2.
That the team
I can
will
try and
keep you
reboot the
safe.
game controller on, see if it recognizes it that way.
But now you start
I find
to
it
see
weird that
eh?
I had it working
The people
before.
Never happy. It's never enough.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages. Prettier cages. Prettier.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. And I'm
Bit.
What a wild ride this has been.
No, controller config doesn't
Well, that's a very
mean
blunt
anything.
question.
Advance is line 2.
Friends
Oh,
and neighbors,
controller's on.
and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
Yeah, even the mouse doesn't show. So, let's fire up the game again. Because it says it has full controller support. It just doesn't want to. Controller. Xbox controller as Steam input enabled. Okay. Let's try it again. That shows up the mouse. Config loaded. Gamepad. No. Why is it loading gamepad? Loading Xbox One, not gamepad. Has to be something in the Steam settings.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
To every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you.
Yeah, no, it's
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It's never enough.
Are you saying that advance cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
To every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours,
yeah, it doesn't even
and have
check.
confidence that the team.
But now you start to see.
It almost seems like
the people
saying that
never
the
happy.
keyboard
It's never enough.
itself is. Okay, let's see what we have. So the vision mixing is 1 to 4.
Are you saying that
Sound mixing is
cured
F1 to
death?
4. Space sensor.
We're still
Adverts,
vassal
that's the
slaves, we're
bottom
just in prettier
ones.
cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
Appearance adjustments.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Left alternative.
Daddy, it's
Anything for
starting!
control and shift.
To every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
No, got nothing for
What a
control and
wild
shift.
ride this has been.
Okay. So we'll do
Well, that's a very blunt question.
volume adjust,
Advance is lying
left
to you.
control.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
And then
But now you start to see, yes? The
Yeah.
people never happy. It's never enough.
snuggle whack, we'll do
Believe you,
cube.
Megan.
button is E, and
Are you
switch.
saying that Advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassals, slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh my goodness.
We'll try that for now. See how it goes. Almost want to do like a new game with just keyboard. So I'm like not thrown into it. But no. Watch, we get to it and it's like, oh yeah, this button is like the left bumper. It's like, oh, it wasn't working. Turn off the controller so I don't kill the batteries. Come on. That's like the one thing never did like about this game is the loading screen. Garden? Oh, looks like it's trying. There we go.
Your children are our future.
Alright, mate. Dave here. I'm running into a few problems getting back. Although not as bad as yours. Looks like you've got one loose in the studio. Whack it on the head if it gives you any trouble. It's pretty bad here too, mate. They've got on board. Captain's down. Worse, chef's down and we're out of rum. Not sure I'm going to make it to sobriety or dry land.
Poor
If I
Dave.
had a missus, I'd ask you to tell her that I love her, but to be honest, I've kind of pissed my life away, mate. Still, at least I'm outdoors, eh?
Or abandon them to a life
Goddamn,
of shame
Dave.
and mockery and eventual death on the streets. So you sent them to fly with us instead.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
right. We already had.
I'm not going to.
You never know what's lurking in the water.
No, you're being a child.
The advanced
I'm not.
go-getters.
I'm not.
We can't believe you
I'm not,
thought
I'm not,
you
I'm not, I'm not. No? No? Oh, 5, 4. Welcome back to the National Nightly. Well, welcome back anyway. We know isolation isn't easy, so finally tonight, we have something a bit different for you. Even though some people felt it's not our job to entertain the public with absolute nonsense, other, more important people overruled those people. So it's time to find out who will National Nightly win and who will National Nightly lose. Fuck off, Jenny! There's one thing to do this to me, there's another thing to do fucking puns. So, how do we be playing? Well, joining me is a man who knows all about playing. It's Tommy Harris. Hello, Tommy.
All right, Johnny. It's good to see ya.
And how are you finding the lockdown, Tommy?
What do you mean lockdown?
The enforced isolation of everyone in the country.
Ah, yeah. I think I heard about that actually. Yeah.
You're in bed, Tommy.
Yeah, you called during nap time, so...
Of course, that's my fault. So, why don't you tell us how the game is played?
Toggles don't even
Well,
work.
it's pretty simple, Jeremy, you sausage. I'm going to ask contestants from around the territory 3 questions about what else, yours truly. And those people are going to get a chance to win a very special prize.
And what are they playing for, Tommy?
Drum roll, please. Jeremy.
Ugh.
Thank you. This. Jeremy.
Oh.
But I've signed it, so...
Oh, well then, what a fantastic prize.
Have we got anybody waiting to win this once-in-a-lifetime prize, Jimmy?
I believe we have Angie on the line. How do you feel about winning this man's old pants, Angie?
I've never been so excited, Jeremy. And can I just say, I love you.
Well, you've said it now, haven't you?
Oh, Angie, I love you. In a way. Tell us about yourself, Angie.
Well, what can I say? My name is Angie. Always has been.
Eat these creatures.
I'm a human woman, and my dental hygiene has been described as acceptable.
Brilliant! Right, well, shall we get this shambles underway?
Absolutely, John. Can I get 30 seconds on the clock, please?
We haven't got a clock.
Yeah, I did ask for a clock. So,
Well, why don't you start, and I'll stop you when it inevitably becomes unbearable to watch.
I love it. All right, here we go. Time starts. Now. Question 1. When is my birthday?
The 13th of August at 7:19 a.m.
That is absolutely correct. Question 2. What? I said, what is my favourite colour?
Crushed praline 4.
Correct, the colour of my nipples. And finally, Angie dear, what is my star sign?
That's a trick question. You were born outside of the human understanding of the cosmos.
Unbelievable, that is correct. Stop the clock.
Wow, that really was tough to watch. How did you do, Tommy?
Well, Angie, my love, you got every single question right. Which of course means you lose and win absolutely nothing. Thanks for playing, Angie. Bye. Do we have another contestant on the line at Jelly Bean?
We do indeed. We should have Sonia Artleach. Are you there, Sonia?
Of course, me darling.
Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Okay, you know what? I'm grabbing an actual mouse to use instead of the trackpad just because it's going to be a whole lot easier. I shall be right back.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Okay.
you are, Tommy. Mwah.
Let me guess, you work in theatre, don't you?
Is it that obvious? What gave it away? Was it the glamour or poise?
It certainly wasn't your inherent sense of humility.
Tell us about yourself, Sonia.
Oh, well, if you must play this game, I am a theatrical agent. I represent the likes of Rudy Beefman, Samuel Coffee Cup, and Jodie Carpetburn, amongst others.
And how's the lockdown affected you, Sonia?
Well, they may have closed the theatres, shut the studios, and boarded the cinemas, but they won't get me that easily.
How are you managing without any work?
Due to a savvy clause in all of my artist contracts, I am able to claim my 15% from their unemployment benefit.
Wow, that certainly is sharp.
Standard stuff, standard stuff.
And can I ask, where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I work from home, you know, to keep costs down.
And who's this?
Oh, well, you know, when they gave the order, I was actually mid-meeting with a client, so we've been isolated together.
No fucking way!
What the fucking fuck?
Is that Tommy Harris? I'm a huge fan. Can I just tell you how bloody brilliant you are?
Actually, Jeff,
Yeah.
we're about to play a game.
Now the mouse
aren't
is
we?
making it
We've
easier.
got time, we've got time.
Well, if it's not too bold, I think I am in love with you, Mr. Harris.
No, it's not too bold.
Hey, I'd love to show you some of my stuff. I've been working on some new shit.
Well, at least you're already aware.
During lockdown, we've been workshopping some of Jeff's ideas for much younger children, haven't we?
People still let you meet their children, do they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've been developing some shows for younger children.
Well, we'd love to see it, wouldn't we?
Children.
Well,
Absolutely dying to.
Right.
Absolutely dying to.
Right. So, what do kids love?
Like how the videos
just
froze
numbers?
here.
That's right. Animals.
Musical numbers.
That's right. Animals. So, I'm trying to address the things that kids need to know, but through a medium that they'll understand. Do you understand?
One of my best clients, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, yeah. So,
Best clients, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, yeah. So, the first one we've been working on is called The King of the Jungle's Mortgage Repayments. It's about a lion who's having problems with his interest rates. Porcupine. How did you know that?
Well, your
Porcupine. How did you know that?
well, your work is universal.
I like how the
darling.
audio's not working for camera 1 or
I'm
2.
going to say something to you, mate.
The bear,
Oh,
you
yes,
bear.
yes, right.
It just skips right over.
Yes, right. This one is much better. So, this one tells the tale.
This might actually
of
work into
Mr.
my favor.
Bear. Now, Mr. Bear is a very sad bear because all of the other bears don't think that he'll amount to much, and they tell him that his plays are lazy and derivative.
I think you're onto something there.
He's at his tragic figure. Picture this. He's at his lowest ebb. The trees are closing in. He can't even face his salmon, can he? But
Hey, Miss
then
Cola,
he meets
how goes it for you?
someone that will
That was
change
good here.
his life forever.
Just
This is fucking gripping.
That's right. He meets a wise
trying
old
to figure out how these two
octopus
cameras,
who takes
number
him
1 and
under
2,
his wing
froze.
and says, "No, Mr. Bear, don't be sad. You're not like all the other bears. You have this ambition and these dreams."
Such fucking dreams.
I
Oh,
think
language.
I love you,
Damn it.
Jeff.
Oh, Mr. Bear, what you need to do, Mr. Bear, says the octopus, probably doing an 8-armed
Hey, yeah.
gesture or
Nope,
something.
doesn't fix it.
What you need to do to find happiness in this crazy old forest is you need to set yourself more realistic goals. It's called Mr. Bear Lowers His Expectations.
Wow. What do you want children to take away from this?
Oh, fuck shit.
And what do you want children to take away from this?
Oh, fuck shit. Fuck.
What?
I said a more realistic worldview.
Are you all right, Jeff?
Language,
It's
please.
Jeffrey. My name is Jeffrey Donington.
No, stop.
Well, all the animals learn a thing.
How it ends.
Well, all the animals learn a thing or two about inevitable mediocrity.
And Mr. Bear settles down near to his parents' cave, stops trying to make his band happen, and he goes into bear telemarketing.
Oh.
And becomes a bear maths teacher.
Oh, and we end. We end on a big musical number. Oh, there's dancing. It's very repetitive, so it's catchy but not too challenging. Well, if you like, I could go and get my boombox.
Yeah, you know, I might.
Or the merrier, as they say.
Get Angie back.
Why not? The more the merrier, as they say at orgies.
I'm sorry, at where?
Right, I'll just fill then, shall I?
Oh, okay, now it catches
Coming up
up.
in a moment, it's the world premiere that nobody saw coming.
Lights!
Or wanted. At all. I can only apologise in advance for what we're all about to endure.
How do you turn the fucking thing on, though?
Ah. Well, there's all sorts of creatures down on Dangly Doodle Farm. Old Mr. Octopus with way too many arms. There's Mr. Pig and Mr. Cow. They're always
What are we watching?
moods. But that's 'cause they don't know that they'll soon be sliced up into food. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear,
I have no idea
what's
what
that
we're watching
over
here.
there? That's where
This is
your
great.
dreams go to die. Mr. Raccoon wants to go to the moon. He'll end up as a bus driver soon. Mr. Porcupine thinks he'll read the news at 9. He'll end up as a janitor who stinks of turpentine. Mr. Ape got sent down for rape.
Right?
Didn't work out, he
Like
was
this
in
game here.
till he was 88. Mr. Bird flew south, superstardom on his path, ended up on the end of a belt with an orange in his mouth. Mr. Bear, what's that over there?
Come on, everyone
That's
sing.
the place your mommy pushed your daddy down the stair. Mr. Bear, 6 months in intensive care. That's why the bitch has to die.
Jesus!
The farmer thinks the dangly doodle creatures are asleep. But Mr. Bear's a swinger like the pigs and cows and sheep. He visits every penance sty and always brings the fun. And jerks off Mr. Quackington, who's always first to come. He fingers Mr. Badger's bum and Mrs. Donkey's quim. Then he fronts with Mr. Chicken till they both are quite done in. Then he runs around the farmyard trying to shove it where it fits. And ends the night by
And
blotting over Mrs. Badger's tits.
And this is going, like,
Dull moment down on Dangly
being
Doodle
broadcasted.
Farm, kids. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the sound of maggots growing underneath your hair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That is your friends in a pie. Yum, yum. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's a giant spider in the shoe you want to wear. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That is the end of the night. That's where your friends go to lie. That's how you'll scream when you die.
Yeah, go away. Goddamn creatures.
There was a wise man and a foolish man and a weird man. And there did come upon them from the local village a truth seeker named Unlikely Brian. And he did come to them with alms and someone else's arms and a question. A wise
Number
and
3
weird
there.
and foolish man,
That's
he
just
said,
creepy.
whilst dancing the traditional jig of inquiry common in those lands at those times. How, grant thou, can the many weights and measures of life be balanced? And the wise man did say, there are no riches greater than family. And the foolish man did say he'd heard a good
creatures.
tip for the camel race and that it was a sure thing. And the weird man did say that 2 ears was just the right number, because there was no good place to put a third that wouldn't be aesthetically upsetting. Although he did see the use for a second anus. And Unlikely Brian did fall into
second
wonder and
anus.
befuddlement at their answers. So although he was also wondering if either the fish man or the weird man had any actual value in this sort of professional consultative environment, for what he did not know was that the profound man and the practical man were both on annual leave that week. And the foolish man and the weird man were all that the agency had available.
Oh, wait.
But what Unlikely Brian did not reveal was that he was
What is she
asking for his
talking-
friend
the fuck?
Alex, who had enraged their spouse over a passport treated their son Charlie like he was still a little baby, and was too miserly to even pay for their daughter's holiday.
I'm sorry, is this bitch talking about me?
And thus did Alex's family become
She
like
is.
our Lord, when he discovered a turd in his cradle and was forced to ask Nebuchadnezzar to leave. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. I'm Archangel Megan Wolf. Have a hateful night.
Fuck you, Megan.
I'm done. Oh my god. I thought I was going to piss myself halfway through that. Not even joking. Right, babe, I've got to go and get my bits done. Yeah, I'm seeing that guy tonight again, aren't I? Yeah, well, at the end of the day, babes, he makes my fanny flutter. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, come on then, yous lot, out my house. And you, Alex. All right? I don't want you here when I'm on my date. I promise. Alex. Wake up. Wake up. Alex, wake up.
Wake up, Alex. Alex, wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Right? Was that all a dream? D, E, B, yeah. Ooh, a sinister subconscious. I wonder if this is what it's like to work in an actual news broadcast. Loading screens can be skipped by inventing a time machine. Wow, I feel called out since I was saying on how long loading screens usually take. Well, that's fine. There we go. Rude awakening. Rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to conscious. Okay, so I was in a coma from being electrocuted. You're greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family by your side. A reassuring family sight in these new surroundings. Blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and brings everyone into focus. Sam's face is a mixture of concern and frustration. Things haven't been great between you two lately. Chris hasn't been helping things either. Looming at Sam's shoulder with a sour expression, it's clear there's still no love lost between the two of you. Well, Sam is clearly worried about you. Family scowl is obviously on both their faces. Reach out a hand to Sam. Thanks for caring, honey. Or you first words you say is, I can't believe I've just woken up to the gruesome twosome. No. Let's be nice. Uzi's standing next to Sam, less worried now that you're awake and smiling. Good. Thanks for coming. Oh, Charlie. Yes, Charlie, I am good. No worries. No sign of any real damage. Good. Couple days rest at home. Good. My boss bear came for this shit. And he'll see you Monday, apparently. Right. Goddamn boss. I'm at the table. Bills and papers strewn in front. Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh, the bills. Okay. Good. Yeah, with the money that's been coming in, what we've been able to save, more than enough to keep going. Yes, we shall take care of our mother. But yes, how long will the money last? Starting to get rich. And... oh, holiday time. Okay, so it's not too bad. Okay. Now for another long load screen. Sounds like we're ready to go. That's silence. Okay, let's put you in number. What?
No, it won't be all right, Kath. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound like me?
I mean it, Kath.
That one.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy. Or yours.
That one.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to Buxton.
Oh, good.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to Buxton.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny?
I'm sorry, Kath, you're gonna have to leave.
Aww. Poor cat.
Letting it go to your head.
She nearly blinded
10
me.
seconds,
That's all
everybody.
part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
Jeremy,
high and mighty
5,
and do your job.
4,
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me. Good evening. I'm Megan Wolfe.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
About all these sanctions.
I doubt it'd make a lot of difference, Pet. I've lived through 2 world wars and I smoke 40 a day. And if that ain't killed me, I doubt this will either.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in
What
response to
going
the
on
Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community. It is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
Just gonna do like.
Hi there. Robin Short, National Nightly News. I
Just
was wondering if I could get your thoughts on the current
get
government.
all the ground.
I'm
This
not
is the
really
news
very
broadcast.
interested in politics, really.
We don't
As
get
Mother
involved in
always
politics.
said, leave politics to the politicians, Malcolm.
Over to you, fellas. Global mega corporation Remington's Fist today announced that trials have successfully completed on their groundbreaking male contraceptive product, Responsibility.
The drug has been passed by the government for general release, but the small print warns that, in rare cases, side effects can include blurred vision, enlarged genitalia, and increased risk of stroke. No double entendre intended.
But what do you, the public, think of Sophia Remington's latest venture? Patrick?
What are your thoughts on the new male contraceptive pill?
They're doing that now, are they? I can't see what's wrong with a washable lamb's bladder. It was fine for me and Harold. All 17 of my kids use the same method to this day.
17?
And my firstborn even uses the same bladder. So at my age, who cares?
Okay, all right.
Jeez, this lady.
A momentary lapse of reason. Commuters across the capital found themselves somewhat bemused by the latest stunt by controversial protest group Disrupt.
In a baffling start to the day, commuters found performers outside every major station, all dressed and posed identically. Whether we're supposed to be amused or intimidated is anybody's guess, Jeremy, but most commuters didn't even stop to notice.
Well, as long as it's not some grand contemporary dance, it's probably harmless.
But how do we all feel about Disrupt and their eclectic tactics? Robin found out.
Do you have any feelings about Disrupt?
It's all a bit noisy for me, really. As Mother always said, leave the rebelling to the rebels, Malcolm.
Bubbling up, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and Dr. Ingrid Svorborg Hawkinsford today sent a blueprint of the escape craft in which they hope to finally leave Dante's taint.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut from optimistically engineered to that looks like something my granddad made in his shed, it sounds like the unfortunate team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
Yeah, don't worry, they're going to cut all this, aren't they? It's disgusting.
Lady okay?
Oh, Jesus, wept. Christ, have you thought about quitting smoking?
Right. No, I'm fine now.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
The trapped scientists.
Oh, yeah, right.
Brilliant.
Don't really care.
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team Membership Cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, rightfully, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
That all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
I don't really join things as a rule. As Mother always said,
here we go.
Membership is mostly for unmentionables, Malcolm.
And finally,
For the
tonight,
unmentionables?
back of the net, popular sports personality Johnny Hounsleeves and his fiancée Tiffany Lamour was spotted out today doing a little shopping for what many are already calling the greatest wedding ever.
We can only assume that Tiffany's latest show, My Teenage Secretions, has sold better than expected, as by the looks of things, the whole affair's about to become more expensive than Lil C's shoe collection.
I don't know who that is.
But what should your opinion be of this extravagant display of wealth?
Don't really care, love.
Wise words there.
Later tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For Advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
It's a great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard at Labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. So in my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay.
Oh,
Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, and we have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah.
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk.
Okay.
Your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, like, vote thing, yeah? But it's actually the Festival of Feuerland here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, like, we all had to lick our grandparents' Galicia whilst the vote was happening.
Lick their
And that's
grandparents'
like a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like a sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man? Is like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
He always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried. that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. You can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have like serious animal welfare legislation. And like my friend Helga, she got arrested for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her fuel thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker too. Wonder what became of her.
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
It's human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Crash, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vein. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Svenland, we don't really go into all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of flawed, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and power
Possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Bjerg?
Well, from here, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated devices, concepts like money. In Finland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Votovich.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant mutant hairy bear. When really, he's just standing in field
Holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As the old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back
after these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Thank you for the correction.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
This is important. New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Nope. Nope, we don't do that here.
Are you still meant to bow to foreign royalty?
What?
Should I just like curtsy?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
What?
Megan?
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Oh.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
Because he put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth.
All right.
Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today.
We all know who this guy's supposed
Can
to
you
be
tell
like.
us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand you.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, My mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale.
He's so impressed.
You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it? Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah. Nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah. I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing. And I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
Ooh.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of a
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh no, I'm gonna do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah. You love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still 2 leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive. But why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention. I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the brains,
never got the hang of
the
like
way, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clement's motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snubs, ones the push and the shove, ones the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley, the ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty, the ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation, the ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the brave serve the press of the ways, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to fill the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, you're squilling bet betters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters.
I don't play favorites. Everyone has a voice.
Slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team, and advances little chances aren't as harmless as it seems, cause they're stale and corrupt. Then you're angry, corrupt, then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Hey.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
Oh, you...
Are you joking?
You ass.
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral,
I have been
unbiased,
neutral.
and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ads.
Jenny, this is fucking outrageous.
Thank
And
you
then-
so much. If you could just come with me.
No, this is
That-
ridiculous. Who do I complain to?
This
That one's
is
broken.
just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust
leave
me.
it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
E grade? Come on. I did better than that.
Just a reminder, fixing that old VCR. Put in a new tape. Last ad break.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, shut up, Pip.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy, you remember Mr. Algebra
Vividly.
and Mr. Harris, and this is Ms. Radin.
What?
Philippa, please.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Try.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back, and no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Radin, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
Of course
Where
it
did
is.
the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
You know,
So, Jeff,
that's what you
the
said?
question
Yeah,
on
right.
everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Ah, well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris, Jesus, that was hard.
It's catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad,
This is horrible.
you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
The hell?
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show.
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yeah. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
You'll never take the sacred pass!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, is actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which frankly would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Goodness, and you do this every night?
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
For death?
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Oh.
Oh.
Poor Jim. full wages. Excellent. Okay, what's the next one? Okay, number 242. A ladder worth climbing. Charlie's back. Oh, what's the big news? Yeah, that definitely seems like a big step. Grown-up child. What about Susie? Ooh, she's going to med school. Shopping. Almost got everything. And the CCO. What does he want? I'll have a membership card. Pretty sure they're not required. Oh, no, you push too hard. I don't want it. Sorry, are you threatening me? Android work event? Okay, let's go. Ooh, I've been sat at like the worst table then. Staying out politics. Big heat wave. Right. Power. Yes.
What, you've got someone to hose down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who's Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe when people like disrupt.
More like keep us in line.
Come on.
Guns. I need to do this.
10 seconds, everybody.
So, we've got any actual real news tonight?
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5, 4...
Need to do this.
10 seconds, everybody.
Oh.
So, we've got any actual real news tonight?
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5.
I'm just gonna... I'll just be right back. I just gotta go to the water. Actually... Get. Yoshi, I need to sit down. And what the hell? Like the game crashed. Hmm. Not for you to chew on. Okay. Game crashed, but Steam still shows that it's going. Oh, there it goes. Oh, let's boot it up again.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Studying starting!
I've been living in a paradise.
Come on. Come on. We can do it. Music stop. It's go time. Like it. Yes. Go time.
Working on it.
What, you've got someone to hose down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought we'd be in a better mood. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who, Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
More like keep us in line. I hate guns. Give me the willies.
10 seconds, everybody.
So, we've got any actual real news tonight?
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions now entering their 10th week. In a statement from team headquarters a short time ago, Prime Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding response to this unprovoked escalation.
The World Council should make no mistake. This blockade and the illegal sanctions it seeks to enforce are an act of war and will be treated as such. Any incursion, however slight, into our territory will be met with swift and deadly force. You have been warned.
Taking the plunge? Far be it for us to be cynical, but it's beginning to seem like the of a certain celebrity power couple is more about attention than it is about love. As this leaked photo shows, the naturals of heartthrob Johnny Handsleeves
much as I want to do
Tiffany Lamore were far from convinced when they finally tied the knot this week. Eyewitnesses claim that the fuse was lit sometime during the vows, and that his entrance to the reception, through 3 windows and an exterior wall, was particularly memorable. In it to win it, exciting news from Advance today, with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used to be. Take-up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon everyone's going to have one. Burning rubber. Sales of condom plummeted this month as sales of responsibility soared. Since becoming widely available earlier this year, the male contraceptive pill has become commonplace in the lives of many heterosexual couples, and as a result, many are turning their backs on more traditional prophylactics. Global Health Watchdog has revealed that it's men who are increasingly saying no to the Love Club. The findings have prompted concerns about rises in sexually transmitted infections and a surge of insufferable conversations during one-night stands. Some men left behind. Escape craft construction has been hampered by problems as the beleaguered scientists stuck in Dante's taint have had to make the hard call of who won't be coming back due to their new vessel's limited capacity. Despite their promising start, it's fair to say that enthusiasm for the venture has waned. Trade tensions are rumoured to have led to plans being rushed and big problems that could have been avoided by just simply counting how many of them there are. Deciding it would be wise to put their best foot forwards, the team have imposed a minimum IQ requirement for those that would like to make the journey home. The limit is said to be somewhere between the astrophysicists and the geologists. Life during wartime. As if we didn't have enough aggressors on our borders, internal problems are growing for the government as radical activist group Disrupt caused chaos in Parliament Park last night. Scuffles broke out after the protest, resulting in multiple arrests and the injury of 3 community cohesion
That
officers.
person's face is.
Have yet to comment. The reckless fire will certainly be remembered by all those who have seen these striking images. As their actions escalate, people across the country are asking themselves, who are Disrupt and what exactly do they want?
And how do
Other
they
than
make
new box
that
of
glow?
matches, of course. All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship, and her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National
Feline.
Nightly News. But first tonight, our team of correspondents has been dispatched to every corner of the
It's all
country
good.
to see how the people of this
all
great
good.
nation of ours
Nothing
are
wrong.
coping with this unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go
Everything's
to
fine.
Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what the scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here with little Dr. Anna Burns at the University of Princeford. Are you enjoying the weather as much as I am?
Oh, yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? My eyelids are sweating.
And you're part of a team carrying out a study into just what's causing this unbelievable heat, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their sunstroke and fossil fuels in peace.
You sound very confident about that.
Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's
Nothing
really no
shall
cause
go
for
wrong
concern.
while I am here.
I've actually left my car running.
So tell us about this experiment.
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll be
State-of-the-art.
getting a high-tech readout of the results.
Blimey, that sounds very fancy.
I should just say, none of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington's Fist. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in our future, and may I just say, complimentary personal anecdote. Oh, here we go.
Oh, what's the computer gonna say?
As expected, everything is absolutely fucked. Hang on. This can't be right.
Right, but obviously you said a second ago that everything is absolutely fine, so...
Well, actually, under concern level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think.
There we are. We need to evolve
Even the
fuels
computer
within
knows.
40 years.
You look thirsty.
Here it just says, shit.
Look at you. This is meant to be a celebration. Can't go around looking like that.
Shit,
there you
shit,
go. Much
shit.
better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for providing
Yeah,
all of this.
even the computer knows.
We don't have long. Time is running
It's
out.
running out. Absolutely right. That is all we have time for.
Abandon hope and return to the forest.
Enjoy that.
Abandon all ye
I'd
hope.
like to thank Dr. Burns for just one opinion on the climate.
The sea will reclaim us all.
There you have it, Jeremy. Proof, if proof be need be, that everything is just fine. I'm Megan Wolf, here with science. Back to you.
Megan Wolf there, attempting to do some actual news. Next, heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in Scritchford with Gary Failsafe, a janitor at the local school, and Amelia Jackhammer, an aspiring poet. Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold team membership cards to receive this week's amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And all that we had to do was fill in a quick form or two.
Wow, that sounds so convenient, but we're all
Doesn't
dying
look like
to
he
know
knows what to do
what
there.
have you won?
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with Julia Salisbury at one of the capital's top restaurants.
Ooh, swanky.
And I've been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the gutter in.
That's absolutely terrific. You must both be over the moon.
I've written a poem about it.
So, can you tell me about the moment when you first heard the news?
Well, I was battling against a particularly difficult float at probably one of the sixth formers when the headmaster came and found me.
I was involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both polishing turds?
No, I don't like to polish them. I like
Wrong
to keep
button.
them intact for my collection.
Oh,
That's gonna cost me.
how unexpected.
I don't polish turds. I write poetry.
Potato, potato. So Gary,
Exactly.
Do you think Peter Clement's going to let me keep the contents of his downpipe?
there's no harm in asking, I suppose.
Would you like to hear one?
No, thank you. Gary, when you signed up for team
Shot
membership,
down.
was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course, but no, the boss said I had to sign up to keep coming into school.
Very sensible. It's important to know who we're trusting around our children.
Oh, I have an unpublished book of sonnets about children. Perhaps you'd like to hear one.
No!
Or an anthology of haikus on the death of innocence.
I'd rather hear about Gary's turd collection.
Really? I thought you might say that.
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming.
What's she doing?
It's inspiration, and it's delicious.
Right you are.
Today on the show, there's no news. Just a man who keeps multiple poos.
No,
Bigger than
on.
my favourite. See how it's fibrous, really lovely texture.
Would you encourage other people to enter for their chance to win?
If it's colour you're looking for, take a gander at old Blue Eyes here.
The national news lost its way when it covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite rare.
Maybe that was unfair.
And that's all we have time
Nice.
for today.
Rhyming right
Back
off
to
the bat.
you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this segment, it's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather
Patrick.
is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which has recently voted the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this heat, the smell really is. I mean, it's something else. Barry Lardons, mate, you've lived here your whole life. How'd you put up with the stink?
Well, we're just all very proud of our achievement, to be honest with you. You can tell that, look at him, proud as punch. Do you know what it's like,
This is
son,
modern
being
technology
in the
right
second
here.
smelliest town? No, I don't. Living in the
Fan
shadow of arse
on the
and stuff.
fuses.
Those smug fucks. But who's laughing now, eh?
Tell you what, not me, that's for sure. So what happened, mate?
Right, the good people from Remington's Fist came in and saved the day with their factory.
You're talking, of course, about the newly built Flard factory.
Yeah, they gave us this big presentation on jobs and growth. But as soon as we heard about the stench, we paid them whatever they wanted to put it here.
Does the stink not affect your life in every way, Barry? I mean, perhaps if you're filling in a tax return or completing the physical act of love.
It's strong at first,
No.
but you get used to it after several
No,
weeks.
no
and the first
interference.
bout of sickness. The judges were very impressed.
So, what's the sickness?
Oh, that's nothing to worry about. It takes a few minutes before you develop any symptoms.
What sickness?
Now, folk are saying something about the production line and how they dump carcasses directly into the water main, but I think it's probably the few valves on the high street.
On the high street. Should I see a doctor? What are the symptoms?
Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of inhibition.
Fuck off, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth, you stinking old tramp?
A next recording is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
Oh, that's not really a problem, little song of my life. Hello, it's sexy Patrick Bannon. He's wearing sexy shorts now.
Oh, Patrick.
Oh my God, look at me. I'm like a stallion. Don't forget about that pesky bell button on the fan. I should take my shirt off.
No, Patrick.
You know what?
No.
I'll even let you touch me if you want.
That will be the bout of undeserved self-confidence.
Love the Bannon. Feel the Bannon.
Oh, man, what's the point? And the ennui. All that's left now
Stay on.
are the hallucinations and unconsciousness.
Manadotti? Is that you? Why are you made out of elbows? You know I don't eat opinions.
I don't eat opinions.
Oh, don't worry, folks. Once he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels.
Ooh.
Right, that's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really making a stink. I'm Barry Lardons. Back to you, Jeremy. Thanks, Barry. With a naval blockade being set up around our coastline as we speak,
Good job,
when we
Barry.
come back, I'll be talking to 3 members of the general public who appear to be here purely for medical reasons. Don't go away. Unless, of course, you've got something better to do. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back. 1 minute back. Well, that was stupid, even for you.
I don't care.
Yep.
It's done. I am done. It's 200 fucking degrees in here, and I can't do this anymore.
You say this every Friday.
I've done something.
What do you mean? Jeremy?
My mic is still on.
Did you do it, Jeremy? Yeah, Grady. I knew me hitting censor instead of
section features a
interference.
potentially controversial guest, and Barnes may request some censorship if he goes too off topic. You've done a great job so far keeping everyone happy, so let's keep up the good work.
That's what I'm talking about? Cat? We should be doing an interview with the War Minister, or a report from Grantham Downs. Even the weather will be more fucking relevant than this.
Jeremy, please, just breathe.
No.
It's just something light to keep people's minds off things.
Exactly, which is wrong. People's minds should be very much on things.
Oh.
Christ,
Nope,
it's
not gonna
so
play it. Not gonna play
fucking
this
hot.
political
Please
game.
take your seats as quickly as you can.
I can't do this anymore, Jenny. I've had enough. That's it. This is just
10 seconds. Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5, 4, 3.
Damn.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, your host, Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the territory's first cat football team, Professor Pumpkin. But first, I'm joined by 3 guests with some balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for over 9 months. Isn't that right, Miss Piercy?
Yes,
9 months.
Yes. Tell us, what brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy, to be totally frank with you. So I was watching your show and I remember seeing the news about the election and it hasn't stopped since.
Fascinating stuff. Also here is Frankie Steampipe. Perhaps you could explain to us exactly what your physiological foreboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected. We're constantly overlooked in the workplace, we're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting.
Oh.
I'm sorry, my bowels have comic timing.
And finally, I'm joined by a man who answers every question honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr. Truman?
With a combination of booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography.
Is that
Not according to my therapist.
Well, in that case, let's speak to Rose. Tell me, how does the hiccuping impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is hard. At work, they've asked me to stop answering the phones. It's really affected my confidence.
Well, I find it really fucking irritating.
Do people tend to believe your story?
Fuck no.
Actually, I've been surprised at how much support I've received.
And Frankie, why have you come here today?
Because my wife left me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of fucking losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's been a runaway success.
But he just
Shit
did.
all. Not a single person come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets fell in the canal.
Well, Miss Piercy, some people are saying your condition was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come down, Mr. Donaldson, that's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of tits.
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
That you're a team fuck puppet?
No.
Or a sellout cunt?
Apologies. Just a reminder that he can't help it. And hey, if this
Just
isn't
one.
live television, then what is it?
Fuckfest of propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right, Frankie, Rose, tell us, how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
Yes, we're holding a sponsored run in Capital Park next weekend. It's called the No Smiles 13 Miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh Half. What did I say before the show?
That it was the team pulling Jeremy Donaldson's strings.
No, I didn't say,
Oh, wow,
didn't say
we
that.
may have to end that there, unfortunately. What a harmless bit of fun.
Steady on! This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect.
Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Pumpkin. A ginger tabby with a world-class pair of penalty paws.
Oh.
Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't. Let go. Not you.
Unhand him at once!
Listen.
Enough! That's enough! Enough!
What are you doing?
Trying not to piss myself.
Alex,
Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, you in the broadcast centre, Bozeman's little scapegoat, you listen to me. You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single person in this studio. I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be. Christ, it's so fucking hot in here. Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football? We are on the brinks of a siege the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these three fucking idiots.
I think my hiccups have stopped.
You three, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go, before I change my
Aw.
mind. Jenny, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Right then. You in the broadcast centre. Alex, you listen to me. You pay attention. Now, I'm sure you've already loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right. Yes, really. Look to your right. There is a VHS tape, and I want you to load it into one of the machines, and when I say so, and not before, you play it. You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time. Now, all cameras.
Alex, I assume you won't be playing that tape. This station does not negotiate with terrorists. I hope I've made myself clear. You seem to know what to do.
Every single thing that comes out of this studio is either one-sided or, by now, we're going to show the other side for a bit. For a bit of fucking balance. Like the good old days. Alex, play the fucking tape. Now, I don't want to hurt any of you. If I see anything I don't like, I will not hesitate to start.
Alex, from the station's perspective, you made the right call.
Reset the system for the third segment. I imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof.
No negotiations. We got here. Oh, that's it. E or B? BBB? Blends? Blends. Una.
What do you mean they didn't play it? Why the fuck didn't they play it? Alex, what the heck is wrong with you? You had a chance to make a real fucking difference.
Jeremy, calm down.
You fucking calm down.
No,
How
I
long?
don't negotiate with terrorists. You do not
You.
use the station
What's your name?
Andy.
Of course it fucking is.
Jeremy, put the gun down,
for
please.
political gain.
How long?
We're going live now.
Welcome back to what's left of the National Nightly News. Our main story tonight. There is a fucking massive military blockade being set up around this country. We are surrounded and outgunned, as incidentally am I. Now, I have asked for all the security doors to be locked, the studio doors to be locked, but security is on its way. So, I doubt we'll have much time. But while there is, let's try and do the fucking news. Our first guest tonight is Jenny. She works here in production, and earlier today, she told me she put forward several news stories. Older viewers will remember those, but they've all been rejected. So tell us, Jenny, what's somehow less important than Barnum and Bailey's Amazing Shit Circus and Commander Pumplenuts, the fucking cat footballer?
It's Professor Pumpkin.
Really, Jenny? There isn't much time. Come on, just one real news story.
I don't know. I can't think. I'm trying.
Christ! You haven't even taken into public ownership yet. I mean, might as well be run from Julia fucking Salisbury's no doubt immaculate kill room.
You want to leave her alone?
And this gallant knight, in slightly shattered armour, is Andy. He's a CCO. What's that stand for, Andy?
Community Cohesion Officer.
And what does that mean, Andy?
Well, we aim to strive...
No, you utter prick. I mean, what does that mean? What is a CCO? What are you?
Community...
Policeman! You're a policeman, a fucking policeman!
Yeah, that's what we used to be called.
Used to be? It was less than 2 months ago. What the hell is wrong with you all? Jenny, any recollections yet?
Nothing springing to mind.
All right then. Looks like you're in the hot seat, Andy. Exciting, eh? I mean, that's what you joined up for, wasn't it? Excitement? Is this your first hostage situation?
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty shitty you ended up being the hostage, eh? Never mind. How many people have you arrested for not carrying or having their ID cards?
Well, firstly, we don't arrest anymore. We invite for consultation. And they're not ID cards.
Don't be a bell end all your life, Andy. You know what I mean. Answer the question.
Well, it shouldn't have to be a big deal to prove who you are.
Only the guilty have something to fear?
Well, yes, actually.
How desperately naive.
Look, I'm just a police officer.
Yep.
CCO.
Yep,
Just
that's...
following orders.
Oh, come on, mate. That's not fair.
It was rhetorical. Jenny, ready to spill the beans yet?
That's
Jeremy,
the
please
main
stop.
thing. Is
I'm
no
scared.
one needs anything to hide.
Alex didn't
Show
even
who
play
you
your
are.
tape. This is pointless. It's over, Jeremy.
I was going to quit tonight. I had notes. See? There's a recording. A VHS tape. A message from Disrupt. I haven't heard it, but I know what it's trying to say, and I wanted you at home to hear it. To listen to the other side and make up your own minds. But Alex Winston, who works in production, decided it was not for your eyes and ears. It was not for broadcast.
No, we don't do
Maybe
political
Alex will play it
things
after
here.
the next break. Doesn't matter. Tomorrow morning it will arrive in every major news broadcaster worldwide. But I wanted you to hear it first. To listen to what Disrupt had to say about this unreported country. Because Disrupt and I, well, we swapped places while I wasn't looking. They're now the ones investigating, looking for evidence, trying to make the world a better place. And me? I'm in this newsroom interviewing Jeff fucking Algebra. What Disrupt have to say is important. You might not agree with all of it, but you should still hear it and make up your own minds.
Are you serious?
Totally agree.
Disrupt. A credible source. Get more objectivity out of Alan fucking James.
Oh my God, are you being deliberately obtuse? Why can't any of you understand there's no such thing as a credible news source anymore? Aaron, shit! Aaron! Oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
He's bleeding. It's in his
Shut the-
shoulder.
First aid! Whoa,
Shut the
whoa,
cameraman.
we need first
He
aid.
doesn't need first aid. He needs a fucking ambulance.
Paramedics. There'll be paramedics for the security.
Unlock those doors.
No! Don't do that!
Jeremy, he's bleeding. He could die.
Yes, but if you open the door, that's a
How did you think this was going to end?
Why are you even here today? It's supposed to be your day off!
My date cancelled. I thought it'd be more fun to be here than moping around at home. Truth be told, I wanted to see you. Being annoyed with you is like wearing a comfy jumper.
Aww.
That's the nicest thing you've said to me.
Let's not make it the last.
Right. All remaining cameras on me. In a minute, I'm going to ask Jenny to unlock the doors. Now, that will mean Aaron, our cameraman, can get the medical attention he needs. I should imagine I'll get arrested for this. It wasn't the graceful. I had a speech. I was meant to be resigning with a flourish of honour. A last hurrah! I was going to wish you all one last peaceful night. I can't see that happening now. Still, I want to have one last stab at the news before I go. You see, there's so much more we're not telling you. There's large groups of scientists, and they're testing something. Something loud and something... What was that? I didn't see it over there. I didn't
Please,
shoot him.
Stay back, please. Mr. Donaldson,
Stand
you
back,
have
Jenny.
10 seconds to lower your weapon. If you do not comply, we will open fire.
God,
10.
cut to the ads!
9.
Alex, cut
8.
to the ads!
Alex, think of the consequences.
For God's
5.
sake, put the gun down!
4. 3. 2.
Yeah. Happened. How was I broke ass poor? Up, and people love us. Yeah. Let's see what happens next. I believe news should broadcast both sides. No political gain. People don't like the truth. Oh well. Change channels. Alright, next day. Tape to remember. Let's see. Say I blame him for locking up? Well, he did hold the thing at like gunpoint. He is right that you should hear both sides. Don't play the tape. It was the right thing to do. the entire family supports you. What are you doing? Susan's going to the new transition center, helping people like Graham. But they are horrible places. Why would you work there? Ouch. Okay, 361. Been born. Oh, that's why I was broadcast before. That's right, I was taking care of Grandma. Expensive experimental new treatment might not even help. What? Let's try for the treatment. Going from well off. Not wearing every day. Okay, so we're still not too bad. We're still not too bad. Yeah, it's always taking care of the elderly, especially elderly relatives. It's always hard, especially when the bills pile up. Excuse me. But, I mean, it's a quick solution, and you know it's not going to completely break the bank, then why not? At least then you can say you tried. Yeah? What's up? I can't reach you from down. No. No. 20 weeks.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here. Hope all's well with the family. Just a heads up, we're expecting those troublemakers at Disrupt to attempt to hack the channel during the broadcast, so keep an eye on the interference screen and stay out of the orange. Let's keep the news on the air. It's important, now more than ever.
Crewmates and pensioners while they try and fashion a nutritious meal out of a can of condensed milk, a cow's tongue, and some
That one.
So, Julia's team have asked me to ask you.
Who's of a lifetime?
What does that mean?
The wartime
Where you
extravagance.
turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war or politics in general. Really.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
You didn't hear this from me, but apparently there's a crew at Team HQ right now. I think she's giving a speech or something tonight. They'll get it on the late news.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know.
How are you?
It is what it is.
I just wonder if he got shot or not.
I listen to you know.
10 seconds, everybody.
Is this the new censor button?
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 140th day of war. Our main headlines tonight. Company of Heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Proud parents throughout the territory find themselves ever more impressed by the bravery and commitment of their incredible children and the job they're doing keeping supply lines open against all possible odds. Don't starve. Advance's food programme moved from strength to strength today as rationing depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. However, with a reported rise in mental and physical health issues since the imposition of the blockade, critics have questioned whether those smaller communities which are only now starting to receive help could have been better and quicker served. 7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened up to the wider community. The transition centres have reported larger than expected numbers, but report that they are coping well and able to provide a complete and meaningful service to all who choose to use it. Populace. More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card, a worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. While applications are still open for those who like to run fashionably late, they can expect a few tricky questions from Advance. Start me up. Disrupt spokesman Alan James held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Mankleypool. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination. A representative from the Mankleypool Community Cohesion Team described the event as mostly peaceful.
Look what he's standing on.
But it looks like Disrupt aren't going
Give him that
quietly
little
into the
boost.
night. And finally tonight, our mutual friend. Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former National Nightly News anchor
he's still
Jeremy
alive.
Donaldson. The presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Pentonbridge Prison, while the lengthy preparations for his trial, which is still 18 months away, begin. Following his very public breakdown on this programme 10 weeks ago, the once-loved presenter was disarmed and taken into custody by the Community Cohesion Team. Let's hope doctors can help the once great man. But first tonight, with the war about to enter its 21st week, I'll be chatting with Peter Clement live in an exclusive team talk from his home in Lanfordshire. Don't go away. You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
We got some interference going. Going. Up, down. Some more. There we go.
Later in the programme, I'm thrilled to say I'll be chatting with mega pop star Lil C, who's going to be treating us to a world premiere of her new single. And then after that, in part 3, we've got something new I promise you won't want to miss. First tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's coming to us through the magic of television all the way from his home in Lanfordshire. Are you receiving me, Prime Minister?
Loud and clear, Miss Wolf. Loud and clear.
Well, let's start with the obvious. What's that in your hand, Prime Minister?
Cheeky cow. But yeah, it's true. 75 days without an alcoholic drink, and I've got to say, I'm beginning to feel the benefits.
It certainly looks that way.
Well, I made a promise to Mrs. C, and as my old man used to say...
a promise is worth keeping?
But something like that, only with assholes.
So, I've heard from my sources that you and the illustrious Mrs. C plan to take your winter break somewhere a little different this year.
That's right. We're planning a walking holiday right here in the territories, which is different for us because, like you, Megan, I've always been a big fan of those warm foreign beaches.
Did you make this decision because of the blockade, Prime Minister?
Well, no, that's a good question. Well, as you know, while the blockade has effectively restricted the flow of goods into the country, we and our neighbours have continued to allow unimpeded travel for business leaders, ministers and such. So, although me and the missus could theoretically go to that gorgeous beach I just mentioned, it just doesn't smell much like team spirit to me. After all, as my old man used to say, when life gives you shite, make shite pie.
It works just as well with lemons and lemonade.
I suppose it does.
Prime Minister, maintaining a healthy body like yours at a time of national crisis must require some demanding planning. What's your regime and how do you go about it all?
Well, the truth be told, it's all down to Claude, my infinitely patient personal trainer. He's a man with a plan. I'm just the prat with the fat.
Well, on that very subject, how are you and Mrs. C handling living on rations?
Well, let me tell you, Megan, back in the 50s, when I worked for you backstage for your Patrick Brannan's dad, did you know I did that?
I think everyone knows that, Prime Minister.
Well, what you probably didn't know was that Graham Bannon was a right tightwad, paid the bare bloody minimum and still found every possible excuse he could to dock your pay even further.
Listen for him to swear, as well as also
for having an
interference.
unacceptably smelly lunchbox type bastard. Anyway, what I'm saying is back then I ate a lot less than I am now, even under rationing. We all did. And let's face it, there are still plenty of people in this country who could afford to lose a little bit of weight.
What are you implying? No, but seriously, Prime Minister, we know you're very busy, but one final question, if I may.
Oh, go on then.
When you get home from a long day, your head full of the territory's hopes and fears, what music do you listen to when you work out to take your mind off things?
Well, I know I've got a bit of a reputation for being an old fuddy-duddy, but I'd be lying if I didn't say there's something about Lil C that just demands one's attention.
Well, let's hope you stay watching, Prime Minister, because she is going to be talking and performing live after the break.
Ooh. Oh, I'll be watching. After all, as my old man used to say, everything's a treat on a boring Friday with nothing but the wind up your shunt.
It's Wednesday, Prime Minister.
I think the expression still stands.
Peter Clement, thank you for joining me. Don't know about you at home, but I think there's something kind of inspirational there. I know I feel safer. When we come back, Lil C is going to be giving us the debut performance of her new single, and I'll be getting to meet her. As her biggest fan, I don't mind telling you, I'm pretty excited. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
All right.
Stuff.
Made it
What's
through.
that even news?
I think you forgot to ask him what his favourite number is.
Oh, I must have forgotten that in all the excitement.
So assuming it's not vodka, what do you think's actually in that milk? I reckon it's the tears of his enemies.
You are one disturbed individual.
That's how I cope.
I like her.
Christmas is a way off and the blockade is getting you down. Stock may be low, but the prices are lower. We've even had to get crazy creative, and we've got specials on all of
Spot on the updated mixing desk. You'll need the new buttons during the next sections. First, we'll need applause when the guest enters and before her song. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it when we get there.
Okay.
We got crazy Christmas dancing hats and jumpers. If you're feeling hungry, don't feel down in the mouth.
Do we not have like actual live audience anymore?
It's just for Christmas to eat. It's a crazy deal at Crazy Meals. We've got elves on trees. We've got trees on elves. If you want to know where the elf on the shelf is, we've got elves on elves. Bend over and ready for you to
Elves
take
and
home. We got
elves on
naughty
elves.
Christmas nativities with naughty Christmas figurines. We got crazy Christmas nut bums. We've got crazy Christmas stick bums. It's the sixth.
Nah, of course not. She dog shit. My kid's going to go mad for her, absolute mad.
Live in 10 seconds. Hang on, Colin, you've got kids.
Yeah, I've got about 6 or 7, I think.
6 or 7 kids.
5, 4, 3. Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughters Children's Men, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of just 20. Let's give it up and welcome Lil C! May I just say, you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
Ooh, what's the regime?
And my manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they certainly are. Now, you'll have to forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied, I can always carry the interview.
Oof. Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded. I mean, what was that like for you?
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that like annoying little girl from that show to that like sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
Not really, it was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings on my cabbage bath, but then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course.
That's your
with the
typical
famed
morning?
country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
There's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
Uh-huh. So,
Uh-huh.
this newfound explosion into your popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, I had to start wearing like nicer underwear, you know, for the paparazzi, but as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Is that right? So, what's the album about?
So I thought it was about like how pretty and great I am, but actually it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about like promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again.
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh, do you think he'd be happy with you telling us all this?
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dance and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean,
oh,
we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's out tomorrow.
Sorry,
So soon.
put it in the
After
what?
last one. Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry for Help and it's going to be in all the best high street and retailer shops and it's out now. So girlies, you know what to do. Scream and cry until somebody gets it for you.
Ooh, there she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it can get tough and I hate it sometimes and I hate myself. I just want to like cry into a bath of root veg. But then I think thousands of girls would do anything to be me, so I must be quite lucky.
Well, you know you don't have to do this though, don't you?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes. Most nights between like my 4th vodka and the 8th time a stranger slaps me around the arse. I think things could have been different, you know, like better. But I don't know. I love doing autographs and having somebody dress me and tell me what to wear.
Who wouldn't?
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I'd press record on my cassette, but then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back upstairs and start practicing again.
Oh, sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough, and sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, make Quagler proud and you might just survive childbirth.
Ooh.
Well, You know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it.
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You
the
Home,
ego.
and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. But you know what? It's actually all right. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then. Well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait
Very
to hear
specific.
this. Oh, so here's Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
It's the Force's favorite, the Queen of Team, here to break in your blockades. Lil C.
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing, only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team and me, no dirty foreign member. Don't stop no morning drill, there's holes in me.
Oh, come on, lip singing.
I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no Vickers, but I come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die at two. So what a Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions. I've been this wild and free since Mama burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring you home. I ain't no Vickers, but I come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and done from there. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
Does this remind you of anyone, people?
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Lil C for doing that. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours, won't you?
Oh, no, I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to have that certain perspective on me. You know what it's like.
Oh, right.
And Michael?
What was...
Michael?
What about Billy Bob Jean Short? Is he
Oh, my dad. He's such a sweetheart.
Billy
We both have
Bob
the same
jean
ages,
short.
like it just made sense. Both of us for our image together. Wow. And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting with the lube guys. If they say for your pleasure, I'm gonna start needing it.
For the lube.
This next section will need you to use all 4 of the sound effects to help things along. Try and pick the most appropriate one at each
Well, the
given
fact
moment.
is,
The actors
Jem,
can't hear
there
what
were
you're doing,
flowers
so
in
they'll
my
be trusting
dressing
you to
room.
make the
They were
right
exactly
choices.
12, as it said in your rider.
Do I look like the sort of person who counts things? No, 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 not anymore. I'm better than that now. I'll tell you
Are
what,
you? Are you really?
Just keep adding flowers until it feels like 12. Got it?
Absolutely, right away. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys.
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Jeff DePoon now. How'd you
Hey,
like
it's
that?
this guy.
Yeah, very fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning
He
enough
even
to
grew
pay
a
taxes
beard.
now.
Oh,
It's shit.
and how does Angela feel about all this?
Who?
Your wife.
Ah! Oh, God, no.
Lost the glasses,
No,
blue
she's
beard.
long gone.
Looks good.
No, she was holding me back. I'm with
Looks
Norm
really good.
now. We were married last month.
Norm de Plume.
Yeah.
And why did you write this? What was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom. And I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this. So I wheeled him down to the transition centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking. Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
Excellent, you're a natural. Keep it up.
I can have some train wreck already.
Good morning, Miss Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, Ray, it's those young louts. They've vandalised my shop again.
No!
Yes! They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
I'm just worried they won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven. This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock. See? Works like a charm.
What a lovely way to put it, Ray. And just like that, we can unlock their future.
Yes, yes. Wow! Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Oh, I think that one's addressed to me.
What? This one? Oh, so you're right.
His hand is stuck.
Here it is.
It's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her. She was always a team player, was our Brenda.
Good old Brenda.
What's up, losers?
Oh, no. It's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk
This has to be
around
this has to be
here.
like public television.
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on that notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What did you say? Tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important. Would you mind, Greg?
Not at all.
Poor guy.
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow it down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are and not on your actions.
No joy.
So it wasn't you who vandalized my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there?
Ooh, Brenda.
I thought for a minute there that you said Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you hear that, Ray?
Oh, yes, what a wonderful surprise. I now respect you as a man.
Put her there, Ray. Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
What the hell's just happening? There goes a plane.
Sorry to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we're receiving some breaking news. I'm being told we're picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be nuclear explosions in
What?
4 major foreign cities. Initial estimates put the death toll into
Thousands.
into the millions.
Wow.
I'm being told that we're experiencing some power fluctuations as a result, so apologies to any interruption to the broadcast for you at home. And now I am told that we are going live to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury at any moment. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world. Minutes ago, operatives working for Advance detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously
Why?
in 4 major cities across the continent. We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres.
Oh,
We
great.
will not
We have a
hesitate to
terrorist
detonate
government.
them if our conditions are not met in full and without delay. The people of our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately. We will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender. Your territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new future. Your borders are now our borders. Your people are our people. They will finally be fed and clothed and educated and healed. But for your privileged few, the moment that they feared is now upon them. Allow me to be crystal clear. If you fire a single shot at our territory or harm a single one of our citizens, we will not hesitate to detonate further devices. You will not find them, though no doubt you are already searching for them. Our technology is decades ahead of yours. We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you.
Well,
Huh.
okay, so there you have it. Advance making a brave move that looks likely to end the war in this, its 20th week. There's a lot to take in here, and I know you, like me, will be wondering if this is too much. If we've gone too far.
I think so.
But I'm thinking of our sick and ill, denied their medicines. The children with no food on their plates and the body bags returning from the front line. And I ask myself if without some big, bold gesture it would ever stop, and I do not think it ever would. We elected Advance to make this country better for us all, and it was working. But then the rest of the world looked at us and they said this cannot be seen to succeed. And they brought their warships and their tanks and their planes just to make sure that we were instead seen to suffer. To make sure no one anywhere would ever attempt this again. So, to my mind, our government have taken the only path available to them. A difficult decision for their hearts to bear, but one that ultimately we can respect because it is designed to keep us safe. And while this is unquestionably a dark night, it may indeed presage the dawn of a new future. My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out.
Do you ever get the feeling that you're making history?
Be continued.
Stayed out of the sun, the wealth of all accrued to one, and fear and hate fill.
This is Alan James. The revolution starts tonight, Alex. We need your help.
We're so proud to be here today on this, the 500-day anniversary of the...
It's time to choose. Alex, whose side are you on?
After all, doesn't your family deserve a good
I love games like this.
in these difficult times?
Like ones that make you think that, hey, this can happen. But also full motion video of this. Absolutely love it.
But before we go, one final thought.
Jeremy?
And I'm Den. Jay, we said Zoom backgrounds.
Oh, sorry, boys. We're the developers of Not for Broadcast, and we want to thank you so much for supporting our little game so far.
We're now 2/3 of the way through the story.
But as we film this in January 2021, the UK is back in lockdown.
We don't know when we'll next be able to film with a full cast and crew.
So once again, we have to ask you to please be patient with us.
And if you want to talk to us in the meantime,
come chat with us on Discord at discord.gg/notforbroadcast.
We stream on Twitch every first and third Thursday of the month at twitch.tv/NotGamesUK.
we always check the Steam forums for any suggestions or problems you may have.
And we read every Steam review, even the horrible ones, because your opinion matters to us.
So all that remains to say is thank you so much for playing our weird little game.
And
see you next time. If I have come up with a cure by then,
Now-
I will let you know.
See-
Something didn't go so well for me. So.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm
Here's
Jeremy
the
Dawes.
thing,
Our
like,
main headlines tonight.
the amount of involvement that these developers go in for to make this game and get people's participation could be done a whole lot more by other companies. Because, like they said, like most companies like this, you'd be like, COVID hit, and you wouldn't hear from them. You get almost like an unfinished game, and all of a sudden it's like, well, is it going to continue? What did COVID shut them down? What's going on? They took the time making a video to put in the game saying, hey, this is what's happening. Please wait. Here's how you can talk to us on Discord, on Twitch, on the Steam forums. We are listening, we are reading, we are watching. You can even participate with us on Twitch as well. And that's great involvement with the general public when making a game. Because at least they're not like just leaving us in the dust of what happened. They are giving away us ways to find out how to find out what's going on with the game. And I fully support them. It is November of 2021. I don't know what's going on down in the UK, if they're still under lockdown or what, but I do hope that they are able to finish this and start filming with a full crew again. Because I would love to see the third episode. Let's see the end of level 4. Yeah. Need more info. Summary words for broadcast. Yeah. It was an interference-free show. Good. Exceedingly poor edit. Oh well. Played one advert too late. Yeah. Disrupt effectively silenced. Oh. A slight dock to pay? Fine. But yet my wealth went up.
Good evening, I'm
So, yeah.
Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
To every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
Come on.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you. Friends
Come on, game.
and neighbours, and have
But yeah.
confidence that the team will keep you safe.
The developers here, Not Games UK, they have become one of my favorites. Just because of like this participation aspect. Like, you don't really see that much from games nowadays. And that's sad because we're the ones who purchase the game. We're the ones who report all the bugs. We're the ones who have to put up with failed launches, especially from EA games. But then that's become tradition that if a game doesn't break on first day, something's wrong. But yeah, no, it's. But anyways, so that was not for broadcast. Game shut down. Thank you. Gameplay wise, slightly easier with the controller. Like, I'm kind of sad the controller didn't work, but what you gonna do? Eh. Um, yeah, almost slightly easier. You've been here, Baldrick? Yeah, no, I've been having a great stream. We actually just finished the game. And now it's time for a raid. Wednesday. What am I doing Wednesday? Right, we just started Uru from the Mist from the Mist series. There we go. So we'll continue with that. Like, the gameplay I've seen so far, I don't know if I'm gonna keep up with it. I'll see how it is firsthand. If my parts for my tower comes in either Monday or Tuesday, I'll do a short stream of me putting all that together. Thursday, depending how things go with the install, if it makes my computer powerful enough, then we'll go back to Tomb Raider. If not, I do have other games planned. What was I doing? Oh, raid. Who's on? Come on. No. There. Golden. Yeah, we'll go raid Funk Slice. He's currently playing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. So we'll go we'll show her some love. So yeah, we're about to go raid Funk Slice. Let's show her some love, and I guess I'll catch you guys next time.